Hi everyone, my name is Perry and welcome back to the Cassette Phase. So this probably comes as no surprise to anyone here, but I'm a big fan of VHS tapes. The name of this channel was inspired by, my love for audio cassettes and VHS. There's just something about the warm fuzzy quality that you get when you watch a movie, especially an older movie, in that format. Could I find E.T. or The Karate Kid streaming somewhere, in ultra high definition and watch it on a 4K TV? Sure, I could do that. But for me, those types of movies especially, they just lose some of the charm. So that being said, I have a closet here in the den, which I have converted into a miniature video rental store. I guess you could call it like a miniature Blockbuster in a closet. So if you like VHS tapes too and feel like taking a quick tour, come hang out. Okay guys, before we head into the miniature video rental store closet, I wanted to take a quick look at this shelf here. These are some of the tapes that I keep out because they're either some of my favorite movies or ones that I'm grabbing frequently to watch. Great Outdoors. Now, Howard the Duck, you want to talk about so bad it's good. But I actually really like that movie. As I've mentioned before, Big. That one, to me, never gets old. Same with to be said for a lot of these. The Never Ending Story, Gremlins, I have to watch every year at the right time. I think I consider it a Christmas movie. I don't know about you guys. This is my original childhood copy of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Still plays, still looks great. Ghostbusters, of course. The Wizard, despite it being a really long Nintendo commercial, is one of my all-time favorite movies. I think it's more than that. It's a great summer movie. It's a great road trip movie. Watch it all the time.
Now, Video Armageddon. He's going to take a lot of guts.
You can do it!
A little magic.
You're the best!
And the Wizard. Fred Savage.
Of course, E.T. Gotta have that one. Flight of the Navigator. Return of the Jedi is actually my favorite Star Wars. It was the first one I ever saw, and it's still my favorite to this day. So yeah, just a brief little shot at the regulars here. Let's take a look at the miniature Blockbuster in a closet. Okay, if we head this way, make our way over to the closet. Like that it's an old Fraggle Rock calendar. I know the dates aren't accurate, of course, but I keep it up year after year. And in we go. Now let's just start at the bottom. This is still a storage closet. It still has that purpose too. Some of those totes have DVDs and things in them. Got some retro snacks. I love when they put out food products in retro packaging. It gets me every time. Over this way, we've got just some various toys on the wall. This vintage ET poster, it was actually hung in a McDonald's, I believe, back in 1982. Some various things all the way up to the ceiling. Now, as far as the movies go, these are pretty well organized. As I step back so you can kind of see. They're in alphabetical order for the most part. As I get, a new tape here and there, Obviously it takes time to go back in and shift all of them. So it's not perfectly organized right now, but it's close. So starting at the top row is sports tapes. I love watching these old sports highlights videos. And then a little bit of concert footage as well here at the end. That David Lee Roth tape is actually autographed, so I'll have to get that down sometime and show you guys. I wasn't there when he signed it, but I had found it in a thrift store already autographed. And then up top on this side is just some overflow. Stuff that I haven't filed yet. So the next row is cartoons and like kids shows. You know, your Alvin and the Chipmunks, your Captain Planet, Chippendale Rescue Rangers, Darkwing Duck, Dennis the Menace. Does anyone remember this one? This was kind of an obscure cartoon, but I loved watching this one. Mr. Wilson and the gang here. You want to talk about a catchy theme song? Denver the Last Dinosaur. Anyone remember that one?
1, 2, 3, 4. Denver, the last dinosaur. He's my friend and a whole lot more. Denver, the last dinosaur. Shows me a world I never saw.
Dinosaurs, DuckTales, Flintstone Kids is one of my favorites. Now Heathcliff the movie, I loved Heathcliff, but that is just a series of cartoons strung together and passed off as a movie, which is fine. Gem and the Holograms, got some Looney Tunes and some Muppet Babies stuff. Pee-wee's Playhouse, I actually have a bigger set of that on another shelf. Does anyone remember Potato Head Kids? It had a short-lived cartoon series. And some pretty fun toys.
Potatoes! Time for school, Slick! Go, go, potatoes, everyone! Potato Head Kids School! So much fun! There's Whiz Kids! Change and rearrange it any way you choose. Potato Head Kids School! Good news! Go potatoes! Go, go, potatoes, everyone! Potato Head Kids School! So much fun! Potato Head Kids School! So much fun!
Potato Head Kids Schoolhouse comes with a whiz kit. Other kids sold separately from...
Now these Rude Dog tapes, I just love the aesthetic of these. Back in the day we had shirts and t-shirts and sweatshirts with this guy, but he also had a short-lived Saturday morning cartoon series. In the Mood to Be Rude. Rude Dog and the Dweebs. There you go. Saved by the Bell on VHS. Just 2 episodes, but still a fun tape to have. And we got some Spider-Man, some Super Friends, some Tailspin, Teddy Ruxpin, of course Ninja Turtles, Tiny Toons, X-Men, Winnie the Pooh, so on and so forth. A couple of my favorite Ninja Turtle figures over here, Ray Fillet, Mondo Gecko. So let's spin back this way without making you too dizzy here. Go to the next row. So these are where the movies start. Now, as I showed you in the other video, my most frequently watched tapes are out on the shelf, but I do pull from here all the time as well. It's a pretty eclectic collection. A lot of VHS fanatics are really into the horror tapes. Those are the ones that have the value. I'm not the biggest horror fan. I like some of it, but I don't go out of my way to collect those. Most of these tapes that you see here were found in thrift stores, usually for 25 cents, sometimes maybe $1 at the most. And I know these are commons, There's nothing rare or impressive about the movies themselves, but these are still great films that I like watching. Well, maybe Beethoven's Second isn't a great film, but you know what I mean. Now, to be honest, there are still movies in here that I have not seen. I have never watched Blue Thunder. I need to fix that. Right here, back to back, we have some great classic summer movies. You've got Bull Durham, followed by Caddyshack, followed by Camp Nowhere, and then Can't Buy Me Love. Camp Nowhere is very, very 90s, but a really fun movie.
This summer,
What's the phone number of that camp?
We are so screwed. All the parents want a Parents' Day, so we'll give them a Parents' Day. The nerds are here.
at Camp Nowhere,
What kind of omelet is that?
Popcorn.
breakfast of champions. Kids rule. Christopher Lloyd, Camp Nowhere.
Try rubbing them together. What if we can't get it going? There. Thank God. That was close.
Christmas Vacation. Now, should that be filed under the N's for National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, or is it okay where it's at? I also love it when you find tapes that have these little identification stickers on them, like if they were from a little mom and pop rental place. I'm going to do a series of videos where I actually take out a few tapes and look at them in detail. Some of them have the Be Kind, Please Rewind stickers on them, and do kind of like a retrospective on a film or two at a time. So that's coming down the road. I have Crocodile Dundee, but it's surprising that I don't have the sequel. These first two Batman movies are great. They still hold up. Next row down. That E.T. is probably one of about 8 copies of E.T. that I have. I know that's one of the most common tapes in the world, but if I see it for a quarter, I'm usually not leaving it behind. Now, I mentioned Star Wars before. A lot of people don't like the Ewoks, but I can remember watching this on network TV. It had to have been 85, 86, something like that. So you had the Ewok Adventure, and then you also had the Battle for Endor. I can't remember which one's the first one and which one's the second one. They're very similar movies, but they're still fun. Of course, you got Ferris Bueller, which is a classic. I've never seen For Keeps. I think that's a Molly Ringwald movie. Ghostbusters 2. Ghostbusters 1 is out on the shelf. Same with Gremlins 2. Gremlins 1 is out on the shelf. Harry and the Hendersons. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. I haven't watched The Howling yet. Has anybody seen that one? Is that a good one? Seems like a Halloween movie. So I got these Indiana Jones movies filed here in the I's, but I've got Raiders of the Lost Ark down in the R, and I just did that based on the way they've got the titles written there. Lots and lots of common stuff that you would see, but I'm happy to have it. Moving along. I really like Legend. As cheesy and campy as some 80s fantasy movies are, I love that one. Obviously, Neverending Story, Dark Crystal, Labyrinth, all of those. Aw, Mac and me. The E.T. ripoff, that's basically a McDonald's commercial, but I still love every minute of it. Again, so bad it's good. Mighty Ducks. I have the sequels. This tub down here is full of clamshells, which obviously don't fit as nicely on the shelves in here. Love that Teen Wolf cup. I believe that's from Fright Rags. Really cool. Shout out Fright Rags. The original Red Dawn. Still love that one. And for some reason I have Rocky and Rocky 3 and Rocky 4, but not any of the others. Probably need to keep an eye out for those. The Secret of Nim. Some of these, I believe this was a Don Bluth. Does that sound right? Some of these animated kids movies of the time had some really dark stuff in them. You go back and watch these now, and if you have your own kids, think about, would you let them watch these? Stuff like this one and The Black Cauldron, for example. 16 Candles. What's you guys' favorite John Hughes flick? There's so many good ones. I love Starman, one of my absolute favorites. The various versions of Star Wars tapes that I've been able to gather, all different time periods, I believe, but that's fine. Supergirl, Super Mario Brothers, there's the Turtles movies, the original 3. 3 Men and a Baby, 3 Men and a Little Lady. Remember the playground rumor about 3 Men and a Baby and the ghost that shows up in the background in one of the scenes, and it was really just a cardboard cutout? We loved talking about that, though. Uncle Buck, another great John Hughes picture. Love War Games, of course, Wayne's World. Weekend at Bernie's is required summer viewing. Talking about 80s and 90s fantasy, Willow, absolute classic. And just some overlap, things I haven't filed yet. Some stuff taped from TV by various people. I always like finding those because sometimes the commercials have been left in, sometimes they haven't. But I've got quite a few of those up here. Stuff taped off of TV. And I know there are 1,000 compilations on YouTube of 80s and 90s commercials that you can go watch at any time, but there's just something cool about putting in somebody's tape that they recorded on the TV and finding all those commercials have been left in. And there we are. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the tour of the miniature video rental store here in the den, the Blockbuster in a closet. And if you did, consider subscribing. But for now, and as always, relax, enjoy life, and be kind. We'll see you in the next one.